Hey guys, up to part 2 of making a figure. Um, so in part 2, what we're going to cover today is armatures. It's basically, if you've never heard of it or really don't know anything about what an armature is, armature in the basic form is the skeleton of your figure. Um, Even if you're making monsters or whatever, big blob creature, you still have to have some sort of backbone to it to give it strength when while your green stuff or your mold or your medium is being hardened. Excuse me. So the armature is going to make your backbone. So for what we're doing at the scale we're doing, the little guys, 28 millimeters. Um, like I said in the first thing, wire thin gauge wire will be our best armature material. You can use the heavier stuff. I'll go over in this video how to make an armature with the heavier gauge wires. But for general purposes on a 28 millimeter miniature, you haven't got enough weight to need the heavy wire. So we'll work with the light wire the most in this series. But if we're going to go to a bigger miniature, I'll also cover a little bit of that as we go. Um, Also, I'll put links and stuff at the bottom of the video for some places that you can pick up. Look at a couple places that you can pick up pre-made armatures, um, which being one of them being Reaper Miniatures. They've got a couple different ones at Reaper. They've got like a 28 millimeter true scale armature. It's already been fleshed out and stuff, so you won't be wasting green stuff. You also have a heroic comic book style 28 millimeter, which, like if you're building Marines, that would be the way I would go. So, like, say you're building a fantasy army or you're building a fantasy miniature, go like the standard 28 mil. They're not as thick and heavy and cartoony looking as you'd get with, say, the Space Marines, or about any GW product is generally oversized. Um, so that, like say the comic book ones are more oversized, bulkier, thicker. Um, so I'll put a link to Reaper so you can go check out the armatures there. And um, I'll show you one armature that I've got started already with a pre-made armature. And we just go in and start bending wire. Um, so this video is just going to be about tying up an armature. So stay tuned. We'll switch some camera angles here, and just get a quick chance to say, if you haven't checked out my Facebook, I've got a lot of stuff up on there for where commissions I've been building and stuff. And commission-wise, always looking for more jobs. So, got a commission in mind? Like I said, there'll be a link here to Facebook, and you can go over and see what I can do, and maybe we can get something made. But as far as this series is going, like I say, switch camera, and we'll get to making armatures, or talking about them anyway. Okay, here we go. Making a figure. Let's get it. Okay, guys, here at the start of this series, I figured the best way, one of the easiest ways that you guys are going to find to build a figure is with a pre-made armature. That's what this here is. Wait a second, let me shut off this autofocus so it'll stop that blinking. There we go. Should stop blinking now. Okay, this here is a pre-made armature. It's made by a British company. I can't really think of the name of it right now, but I'll put a link to their stuff here in the bottom. Which, like I say, this is basically the skeleton of our figure. They come, I got like 5 of them for, I think, $6. $6 with shipping, maybe 7. I can't remember for sure. But um, they come, say, a little baggy, and I stuck it down inside of this marine base just to make him stand up. But this is what you would get in a pre-made armature style, just a basic skeleton. And what I like about it is the face is already set for you. So when you're sculpting in the face, it's going to give you a jump start on your proportions. All the joints are set at a 28 true scale, 28 millimeter. So you know where all your joints are. And when you're, doing your posing and stuff, you just clip like loose, like say you want to move the leg, clip it down at the bottom there, move the leg the way you want it, and generally move at the corners. Here, let me grab the other guy. Just a second. Like I say, this is the way that you'll start. Pop him off. And here's one that I got started. As you can see, I've just clipped him and started roughing in some shape. And like I say, I got the boot wrapped in, pants legs. For me, I like to work from the bottom up. That way he's solid. It gives you more to work with. So I started the base, worked up. One of the things about an armature is once you get your shape put in, as you can tell here in the shoulder, I've added some green stuff to strengthen, because once you start moving this lead, it's going to get a little brittle. And by wrapping them in green stuff, when you get the position that you're wanting, it'll help hold that position. So, like in this guy here, when I got the stance I wanted, I green stuffed him to the base, started the boot. Come up, put a little green stuff at the knee, started the leg up, and green stuffed the hip. And on this side, I green stuffed the knee, brought the pant leg up, and bulked in the hip. When I bent the back to get the curve in the back, I added the green stuff up. As you can see, got a little green stuff up the back, and then just to flesh it out, to give it some strength. And I went ahead and started the waist, started it up under the ribs. And like I say, when I bent this shoulder, I went ahead and added some green stuff to keep strength there. Brought it all the way down to, I haven't started the elbow yet, but I need to wrap a little green stuff at the elbow. And I'll need to wrap some green stuff at this shoulder and at this elbow, just to give it the strength to be able to be sitting there and picked and prodded on while you add the final layers of green stuff. It doesn't have to be really thick. You just put it on enough to give some strength to the joint once you bend it. And you composing the way you want to. Also should add some to the neck too, because I've moved the head. Like I said, I just started at the base, started working up. And basically I got to the shoulder whenever I decided to go ahead and show him in the video. But that's just the basic armature, skeleton armature, and into a pose. I just throwed that brass in there to sort of show him what he looks like with a weapon, some sort of weapon be coming back through there like that. Big overhand swing. And like I say, this guy here started here. So like I say, for most of you, this, going with an armature that's pre-made like this will probably be your best option. Uh, most of them are fairly cheap because, like I say, they're just a base, a skeleton. So this is, where I would suggest that you guys start. Uh, if you can get them, like I say, I'll put some links down here so you can see a couple different places to look around and check on. As a search, I would just put in pre-made armatures into a search and see who's selling them. And find somebody close and local. It's the berries. But like I say, these guys here was shipped in from England. Here in the United States, I know Reaper sells them, so I'll put those links in so you guys can see those. So now let's switch over from the pre-mades to making one.